A spate of injuries interrupted his career since his debut in 2011. But ever since his second coming in 2017, Patrick Cummins has been a bowler with the Midas touch. The 28-year-old Australian is currently ranked number 1 in tests and was part of the team that won the Men's T20 World Cup in 2021. In the same year, Cummins was elevated as the Test captain ahead of the Ashes, where he led the charge to a 4-0 sweep against England. Soon after, he took the team to its first Pakistan tour in 24 years and pocketed a series win. In this episode of Forbes India from the Field, Pat Cummins talks about facing challenges, keeping the team together, and how he wants to build his legacy.
Everyone's a person first before they're a cricketer, so you've got to make sure everyone's in as good a space as they can be. I think the cricket kind of takes care of itself if you look after the person. To play for your country, everyone's very, very motivated, and if they're not, you kind of get found out eventually anyway. So I guess no one's got any kind of motivation they need to prove to me or anyone else. Just trying to make sure everyone's in a really good spot off the field so that when they step on the field, they can just, shine. First of all, you got to make sure that everyone's looked after, no one's left behind. So fortunately, we got a great group of people that are really caring and try to make sure they look after each other. I think as well, there's so much pressure that comes with playing for your country. There's a lot of scrutiny. So trying to create a safe space in our environment where people feel like they're not going to be judged and critiqued due to their performance. As long as they're trying their best, they're buying into what the team's trying to do. Each captain has, their own style, whether they try to do that or not. So I think you pick and choose a little bit from I have from lots of different captains where I've thought, that's a real strength, and that's an area that I think similar to my strength. So I could almost reel off a couple of strengths of every captain. Michael Clarke was my first captain as a youngster. I felt $1 million when I walked out in the field. He was really encouraging. Smithy led from the front. Tim Payne was someone I've really respected as a captain, and I worked a lot closer to him being vice captain the last couple of years. What I got out of Payne is he's a real people person, a good communicator. He he's really close to the players, and I think he can get the best out of all the players. I think that style is similar to mine. My favourite part about playing cricket is playing with my teammates, and as a captain, hopefully I can look after them. The first thing is you've got to detach cricket performance from your own life. I think if you know what, the worst day in your cricket field, if it's you get smashed around, if you get injured, if you lose a game in the last ball of a game, if you know that at the end of that you're still going to be okay, you're going to have friends, family, you and yourself are going to be, okay. I think that takes a lot of the pressure off performance. I think naturally when you think that way, your performances aren't as bad, good. It's most of them are kind of a bit more consistent in the middle. So I always try and think of that. I think if you have a run of bad games, I like to look back at when I've played well. What was I doing right? And just try and reinforce those good, those things that make me a good player or made me perform well, and go back and revisit that. And there's always one or two things you pick up, and a lot of it's you're just overthinking it. So it's going back, when did I do well? What were the basics I was doing well? And try to realign. can't be in a public position and make some decisions without expecting some scrutiny. Again, I think it's knowing that you're doing it for the right reasons. And yeah, in a cricketing sense, you've been put in that position to make those decisions, and just being strong enough and brave enough to make them and back yourself. And if it doesn't work, know that your decisions were well thought out and you believe them to be the right decision at the time. And if not, review it, see if you need to change anything for next time. I think with cricket there's a lot of external noise, and I think it's just not getting too caught up in that you're there, you're the one on the ground, better than a lot of commentators that are removed from the situation. You've got more information to make those decisions, and just trust the people around me. Again, you're never alone in these decision makings. You've got some great sounding boards around. So I think clear thinking to make a decision, and then not getting too caught up in after the decision's been made, whether it was a right one or a wrong one. I've got to remember what I'm selecting the side to do, and that's to bowl. Make sure at training and games, that's my main focus. The best contribution I can do to a team is by taking wickets or scoring runs. So try to remember that. And then I think being able to switch when I'm out in the field between the two. So if I'm captain 1 minute, the next one, okay, I'm bowling. And you can't be expected to be a team focused captain every single minute of every single day of your life. I think you can, all right, captain to one side, now I'm a bowler and I've got to focus on this bowling for this next little bit, and that's absolutely okay. And I think recently as captain, it brings a different kind of reward. This summer we had a couple of great debutants. Scotty Boland debuted at the MCG. He got six wickets in front of his home crowd to secure the Ashes. So that was just a great moment. Not only as captain to retain the Ashes, but seeing someone who's played domestic cricket for so long shining on the big stage. That was just fantastic. I absolutely love that. Someone like Cam Green, working with him as he's builds into his career, that's great. And then going over to Pakistan, first time in 24 years an Australian side's played over there, to win the series over there. It's a rare thing to win an away test series, especially in Asia. So these are kind of the moments that you build towards that are really rewarding when they pay off. It's unlike a lot of other sports in that we travel for 12 months of the year. So, I've been playing for 10 or 11 years. If you're traveling most of the year for that long, that's not just, I guess, cricket. That's your life. So you've got to try and find a balance and make it work. I think what's helped over the years is when I'm not playing, when I'm not at the ground or at training, I'm much better at just switching off. Finding escapes when I'm, I guess, back at the hotel, being able to relax, remove myself from cricket, have family join, really enjoy, just life on the road. I'd like to be remembered by my teammates as someone that had their backs, that looked after them, that was a really good teammate to play alongside, and hopefully someone that enjoyed himself, enjoyed life, enjoyed his time as a cricketer.